Good morning, friends. Today we'll be having a discussion on the deficiency and beneficiary things of these nutrients which are essential for the growth and development of the plant. Well, friends, in previous lecture we have gone through the all the nutrients which are required for the plants. Well, there are two categories which are distinguished between the macro as well as the micronutrients. As far as micronutrients are concerned, carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium play takes a major part and major constituent in the plant growth. All these nutrients are absorbed by the roots from the soils, and ultimately these are present in the soil. So friends, what we see that what we see that the functions of the iron and all the macro as well as the micronutrients. See the major functions of the iron, each involved in the productions or synthesizing the chlorophyll pigment. It is oxygen carrier, and iron helps in the nucleic acid metabolism as well as the chlorophyll synthesis, protein synthesis, and it is also required for the nitrogen fixation. Well, when we observe the plants in our field, we see that the maize plant or the soybean plant, when the deficiency of iron is there, you can observe the leaves which exhibit intervenial chlorosis. For example, well, I will zoom out it. See, these are the leaves of the soybean, and you can find out this is the chlorosis on the interveinal part of the leaves. So this one, and again you can observe this maize leaf. See, look out at this yellow streak. These are the parallel venation of the maize leaf. These are the yellow stripes which are present on this maize leaf. So this is what about the deficiency of the iron. Next to that, you can observe the manganese. What are the functions of the manganese, and whether if the manganese is in the absence of manganese, what would be seen. So friends, here is the major function, that is the photosynthesis, nitrogen metabolism. This manganese play an important role in plant nodule formation and two nitrogen fixation. Manganese act as an enzyme activation, and this enzyme produce the amino acids. Well, in case of the deficiency of the manganese, we do see the intervenial chlorosis on young leaves, and these symptoms as similar like the iron deficiency too. Plant containing less than 25 ppm manganese, then deficiency will be occur. Where you can also look out at the chlorosis in the soybean plant. See this, all the venations on the leaf. Look out the veins which are on the leaves shows the clear dark green color, whereas the rest of the part, that is the intervention part or the leaf surface, shows the yellowing of the leaf. So this is what about the copper one. Regarding the copper, there is the good example in the fruit orchards. In the You can look out at the citrus orchards and citrus gardens. The overall chlorosis of the leaf tips, dieback and tips are twisted. A loss of turgor in the young leaves have been observed. Well, copper plays an important role in photosynthesis as well as in the protein and the metabolism of the carbohydrate, and it also helps in respiration, chlorophyll production, that to improves flavor of fruits and to vegetables, which enhance disease resistance in the plants. We all are aware of the Khera disease in the rice, and the zinc that is plays a major function, and it also shows the some deficiency if it is not present in the proper amount, or if it is not supplied in an adequate amount. So we see the leaves are discolored in the rice, whereas the size of the leaves are reduces, or we may also call it as the little leaf of the rice, and interveinal chlorosis appears on the younger leaves. Some growth is stunted, node internodes length are reduced. All these are the symptoms which can be observed or which can be noticed in the absence of the zinc. Well, zinc play an important role in formation of growth hormones as well as the formation of starch, carbohydrates, and do it promotes in reproductions and the maturation of seeds. Also, it is responsible for the production of chlorophyll and essential for the uptake of the water, that is H2O, and oxygen carrier. These are the few things what we look the zinc is necessary in this case. So next one, that is the boron. Well, while talking about the boron, we see the major functions of the boron, that is the cell wall formations, and it plays an important role for pollination and the pollen germination, which promotes maturity as well as the translocation of the solutes or the transcent of sap and synthesis of nucleic acids and the plant hormones. Well, we can also find out the deficiency, that is the light general chlorosis, deformed leaves with areas of discoloration, young leaves crinkled. So this is what the think about the boron. Well, friends, this the slides and PPT are taken from the slideshare.com, and we are very thankful to the author as well as the source. We are courtesy. Uh, we are thankful too, and this is for the purpose of the only just a lecture purpose. We don't have any claim or authority on this presentation. Well, friends, next is the molybdenum, and on the absence of the molybdenum or deficiency of the molybdenum, you can look out at the diagrams shown in the three parts, that is A, B, and C, whiptail in the cauliflower. So in this what we see, that is the yellow spot on citrus and scald in the beans. This is occurring on the aerial parts. Chlorine too. The deficiency of the chlorine have been reported on sandy soils, humid region, and high rainfall area. Chlorosis and wilting of young leaves deficiency rarely seen on crop plants and fields. So, stomatal opening is essential for major functioning of the chlorine, electrical charge balance, and physiological functions in the plants, and indirectly affects the plant growth by stomatal regulation of water loss, that is the turgor regulation, and resisting the disease. This what next to that nickel, and the deficiency of the nickel is exhibited as a whole young leaf chlorosis along with necrotic leaf tips. Well, if you look out the functions of the nickel, was established as an essential micronutrient for the growth of temperate cereal crops rather than the tropical, which has benefited the growth of nitrogen fixing species. And nickel should be considered as a micronutrient for cereals because nickel is required by legumes and is now established as an essential for cereals. We conclude that the nickel should be added in the list of micronutrients essential for a higher plant growth. So these are the things what we see. These micronutrients are required for the growth of the plants. So general micronutrient toxicity symptoms. Toxicity symptoms: young leaves develop chlorosis between veins and become reddish brown in color. Uh, when there is the deficiency of the boron, regarding the chlorine, we see which are reduced in size and number of leaves having bronze or yellow coloration. Uh, about the copper, we see the intervenial chlorosis in young leaves. Regarding the iron, bronzing and stippling of leaves. Molybdenum, tints of golden yellow. Manganese, that is a chlorosis of young leaves. Zinc, that is rolling of leaves. Nickel, intervenial chlorosis and restricted leaf expansion. And aluminum, that is the development of the thick stubby and disordered root system. Well friends, these are some beneficial micronutrients and which functions in the higher plant. So you can look out at this. On the left hand side there are the micronutrients: silicon, cobalt, sodium, aluminum, selenium, and etc. This silicon provides resistance against pathogen, drought and heavy metal tolerance, quality and yield enhancement. So all these things which you are looking out at this slide, please note down this and look out how the cobalt, sodium, aluminum, selenium, all these are also required for the growth of the plant. Well, friend, with this, we stop here regarding these micronutrients, because as we are discussing on the nutrients of the plants, and as we spoke that there are two uh, types of the nutrient, that is macro and the micro. So micro is required in a very proper amount or in a very adequate amount for the plant. If it is more than requirement or less than requirement, then ultimately it shows the side effect or symptoms on the plants, on the aerial parts of the plant, or you may observe the symptoms on the growth of the plant. In our next lecture, we are be going to talking about the macronutrients of the plants. So, friends, I request you to please take down the notes from this presentation and from this lecture. If you have any doubt or any questions, so please you may contact me on my cell phone, or you may WhatsApp me. Uh, you all may have my cell number as well as my WhatsApp number. So, without any hesitation, you may contact me and ask your queries. With this, I stop here. Thank you.